Awesome, awesome, Rajiv. Awesome seeing you, Rajiv. It's Sunday morning at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
And as I said that it's there is nothing formal, there is nothing editable here. It's all heart-to-heart open conversation which we are going to have. And I'm talking to the audience. I'm talking to Rajiv after a long time. I think after many years, I guess. I mean, we might have spoken once in a while, but I think in this way, I think we're talking after a long, long time. And Rajiv, one thing I recall that nowadays I have been conducting these sessions called 10x Success and Joy through the power of MMRG. I call it MMRG. I prefer calling it MMRG, which is nothing but which is all about magical morning rituals for greatness. I mean, so there are a lot of things which we do, maybe 20 plus kind of little things which people do. And I'm happy to share with you that there are many people who have already joined me from various parts of the country. So we do it on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 5:30 and 6:30. And I'm telling you, ये तो मतलब सूरज को दिया दिखाना जैसा हो गया यार. I started building this habit after 2018-19 when I had something in my life, some realization which made me write my first book, which is there somewhere at the My Peter Manisburg Movement. Raju, tell me one thing. Let's start from there. It's very casual, heart-to-heart, informal interaction. I have seen that over the last many decades. I think you have been a person who always have been waking up early in the morning, man, be it Monday, be it Friday, be it Sunday, be it Saturday. And I recall there used to be times when I used to ask Rajiv, what time you wake up? And then Rajiv used to say around 5:15, 5 o'clock, 4:40 or something. And then I used to wonder, Rajiv, what makes Rajiv do something which I can't do? And how to become like Rajiv, how to start waking up early in the morning. And of course, Rajiv, now things have come when many people ask me, Arun, tell me how to build this habit of waking early in the morning. So what makes you wake up in the morning? So Rajiv, what makes you wake up in the morning every day when you get up, when you leave your bed? I think it's something it just started now. It just started. I thought let me just jump in because something which I couldn't resist, Rajiv. It's something which I've been doing over the last many decades. And what makes you leave your bed every day in the morning is something which we audience would like to know from you. Let's start from there.
Arun, I will say it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to see you. It's a pleasure to see how you are navigating your life, and pursuing passion, So it's a very nice feeling I have to see your journey evolving into arenas which you enjoy doing. You are no longer just doing something for the heck of it, but you are doing something which you enjoy doing. Now, answering your question, I mean, I got late 10 minutes.
We are going to speak a lot of things. We're going to discuss all these things. I'm going to talk about Rajiv also after a few minutes. I thought of keeping it very free flowing. Yeah, Rajiv.
Yeah. So I just finished my yoga session. That's where I got 10 minutes late because I just wanted to do. What gets me up in the morning, I think it was not happening naturally from my childhood or college days, or even from the early part of my job career and all. No, I was not getting up early as a natural way. I think it happened when I started discovering my purpose of life. And my purpose of life discovery started when I was in Tata BlueScope. The business was not doing well. And we had to really work hard, to improve the business. And that's where I came across a contractor person who was fighting with the security guard in the office in Pune, Hinjewad. That was not allowing him to come to my chamber. And I said, then I walked in and I said, what happened? So he said, sir, he wants to meet you. I said, allow him to meet me. And that person cried. And I said, what happened? And he said that, look, earlier I was not getting food made in our house for me, my wife and daughter, even twice in a day, sometimes just once. Now, for the last 1 year that you have come, मेरे घर में तीनों time चूल्हा जलता है. I still remember this sentence, तीनों time चूल्हा जलता है. So I wanted to come and meet you and say thank you and all of that. So then I discovered that what I want to do with my life. And I discovered the purpose of my life, that I want to work with organizations who have a purpose, noble purpose, to contribute to society. And there are many ways you contribute to society. One of the ways is when you grow a business, make it bigger, better, sustainable, based on the values system. So you give a lot of employment and you contribute a lot to the society. And then that's where it started. That purpose wakes me up every day morning. If I can answer your intelligent question, the very first question you asked is such an intelligent question.
No, I think so. Friends, now I'm talking to the audience. I think this must be one of those most unconventional questions, non-traditional questions, which one could be asking a managing director. Now, let me talk a bit about Rajiv. He's the managing director of a company called Chrysler India, which is a Mumbai-based organization, which actually is a multinational, but in India, it has got its head office in Mumbai. And I know Rajiv as one of those people who have been breaking their comfort zone every single day, because I have seen him changing cities. I know I have been in a beautiful city. I know some people say that I will leave my job, but I will not leave the city. And I have seen these people, kind of being in a career, which is good, which is all good, but we are talking about purpose. We are talking about a life which could be 100 times bigger, 10 times bigger for most of these people. So Rajiv is the managing director in this multinational called Chrysler India, which of course Rajiv will talk a bit more about. And before that, Rajiv has been a veteran in Tata Group. He has worked in Tata Steel, and then he worked in Tata Blue Steel, the same company which Rajiv spoke about. Thank you so much, Rajiv. And after that, Rajiv has also worked in Jindal Group as well as CK Birla Group. So Rajiv has been a veteran, as I said, more than, I think, Rajiv, 2.5 decades, kind of 25 years kind of experience, which you have been having. Very rich experience. And Rajiv, nowadays many youngsters, because when I wrote this book, My Twisted Love Story, which is a book which is meant to inspire all the youth of this country, many people keep on asking a question, Arun sir, tell me how to build confidence. I'm going to tell them that, okay, if you want to build confidence, go and talk to Rajiv. So Rajiv, what gives you this energy, this confidence? I recall the days in Tata Blue Steel when I also had the privilege to work with you, Rajiv. Thank you so much for the kind words which you shared in the two at the beginning. And I used to see that the moment you used to enter the office used to be filled with energy, dynamism, that confidence. And I used to see people coming along with you, and meetings used to start. And Rajiv, I have never seen you getting devoid of energy. Probably one of the reasons could be these magical money rituals for greatness, which I have been talking about. So Rajiv, what is the source of your confidence?
Actually, I was a highly non-confident person from the
I
beginning.
I can't believe the audience. I know Rajiv was more than educated. I can't believe we're going to talk about it.
What I want to say, like what you said, Arun, our company, Chryso, again, is a French-based MNC. It's a #2 construction chemical company in the world. It's a Saint-Gobain company. It's a Saint-Gobain company. So what happens in these organizations, when you are there, you interact with such a nice set of people, environment is so good that automatically the energy level goes high. But coming back to your question on confidence, I was not a confident guy at all. I was very shy, very introvert, very, I must say, I was not a guy who will naturally reach out to you and say hello to you because of our background. We belong to a very humble background where my father was just a car driver. So we had a very humble background, and hence, we never ever got even exposure, to be with people and all of that. So we were in our own world and we were happy, playing in the garage, playing with kids on the street, vendors, kids on the street. So I was very comfortable with them. In the beginning of my childhood, I will play all that, that goalie, which people, I don't know, today they don't play on the road. Pancha and all that. I'll take a tire of the cycle, move. So I was very busy in my own way and very comfortable with people on the streets and people who are in the garage. So, and we went to all government school, etc., etc. So I was not confident. Now, coming back to your question, I feel that my confidence or my energy or my passion, these are all driven by the purpose. And when you take, difficult calls, when you move out of your comfort zone, because you are all driven by that purpose. And as you said that, I've stayed in Pune, Jamshedpur, Hyderabad, Delhi. So it's all about, what has driven me to deal with difficult challenges, varied challenges in different industry verticals, meeting different people. I think that has built confidence. When you move from one place to another, when you move from one job to another, irrespective of designation, that, when you say, how can I contribute? Absolutely. To the cause which is linked to my purpose. And everywhere, like Birla Group I work, or even in Chryso that I'm working, everywhere God has been kind, cosmic energy has been kind to give me an opportunity to be associated onto a cause which I find highly linked to my purpose, because everywhere it has been growth, whether it is Birla Group or whether it is here, it's all driven by the growth, because I think that's my karma. I don't have to go to a temple to ring the bell, etc. But I think if I can do my karma well,
Absolutely.
I can contribute. So it is different challenges, different assignments, different geographies, different people in India, outside India, because I travel extensively outside India as well. And when you meet those people from different cultures, different countries, observe them, talk to them, so you have your confidence. I remember I was not even talking in English. We have all studied in Hindi medium, and suddenly in 11th and 12th, when I joined college, medium changed to English. So instead of reading physics, chemistry, math books, actually rapid English course, these, that, all that
Yeah,
books
and
we
then
had to buy.
there also used to be some dictionary, Hindi to English
Yes,
words for
we had all
studying.
of that, and we really struggled. We really struggled to understand the subject. So my point is, when you are driven by a purpose, cosmic energy comes into play, and you take up then so-called difficult challenges, difficult assignments. But actually, for me, it has been a play. It is not a challenge or a difficulty and all. I play with it because I enjoy challenges. I enjoy interacting with different people, different places, etc., etc. So I have acquired it. It is not an inborn thing. I've acquired it, and it is absolutely possible. If a guy like me from a simple village, which where to reach, we had to take train, get down, cross by boat, get down, take bus, get down, get into bullock cart, get down, walk. So we are from that village, and if I can acquire a little bit of confidence, I think people can do much, much better.
I think, Rajiv, what you just said is sufficient for me to write a whole book, because I have seen a lot of things in what you just said. Coming to starting with confidence, I think, Rajiv, in case you have seen one of the interactions which I had, heart-to-heart interactions, as I prefer calling them, with Mr. U. Ramachandran, towards the end of the video, he has said that Arun, it's such, I think he was happy to see, I think I won't use the word transformation, but he said that Arun, from being a shy guy, I used to be a guy who could never muster courage to go and talk to people. And I'm talking about the days when I used to work in Tata Steel Limited. From the days when I love interacting with people, because I always see a huge opportunity for me to transform some lives, inspire some people. So confidence. And one of the reasons why I make people go through MMRG, these early morning sessions, is that let them do something. It's all about doing yourself. And the very fact that you are doing something which is about waking up early in the morning, which 99, 95% people can't do. I'm talking about people who are waking up at 5:15 and then they're spending 1 hour while doing things which are going to build on their conviction, their confidence, their clarity about life, their purpose, and some of these things which you spoke about while also doing pranayama and some kind of that jogging, jogging and all that. It's all about doing, Rajiv, and I think you put it so nicely. I think I'll be happy. I'll be so privileged to have you in some of these sessions where I'll be where we shall be talking to tens and hundreds of students and people who are working, freshers in organizations who are going to get so much of inspiration. Rajiv, you also spoke about something which is very interesting from being in a family where I think you spoke about it. I have got some idea about it. You spent your childhood days in Kolkata in one of the lanes, and having come from this background, which is all about love. I know that in some of these families, you actually get bonded very well, which is not happening in today's many of these families today, where people have got all but they do not have this connect. But having said that, coming from that kind of background and then staying in 7-star hotels in the same city in Kolkata, Rajiv, how does it feel? It's something which is very real and very inspiring, a question for many people. There are so many students and youngsters who keep on asking, this question. So when you stay in some of these hotels, which are 7-star, kind of hotels in the same city, how does it feel, Rajiv? It's a heart-to-heart conversation. So
I think it's a very touching question, because it has been absolutely the role of cosmic energy. I must say this. And I say this with absolute confidence and conviction, because, you are right. We were staying in a lane in Calcutta, and we had a size of our room, which driver's room, which you call, where the mother used to cook. There was a bed. Below the bed, all the utensils and all the cloth. That's all you can have.
Yeah.
And today, that's the size of maybe bathroom of many people. That has been, and then using the shared toilets where people will be in the queue. So from there, coming so far, I think it has been a role of cosmic energy, because I had many a time near death experience, where I almost died. But people, like, for example, when metro construction started in India, I was walking to the school, and I'll tell you one more reason for confidence. It is the parents, because they could not afford to take me, hold the hand, take me to the school, bring back from the school. So we used to be independent from standard third, fourth. I remember very early. We'll walk on our own, almost 4 kilometers kind of, we will walk to go to our government school, trams, bus. Today I see parents not leaving their kids even to go to a school bus, which is standing at the gate of the community where they stay. But we have been left like that. And that built also confidence, because you have to look at the tram, the bus, cross the road. So I was walking, and then the first digging had started of metro. And that day when we were there in the school, it was so much of rain that while coming back, you are knee deep. You're already knee deep. And I fell into that fell. And I was almost dying. So some Bartan wala, he was walking, he saw my hair, and he pulled me.
Oh.
And so I got my first life. Like that, there has been, because my job involves a lot of traveling. I have had near miss at least 3, 4, even in Pune, Mumbai expressway, just by a second, I missed death, or death missed me maybe. So my point is, Arun, I think cosmic energy, people call God or whatever it is, what that's power also wants me to contribute something with my karma. And that's why I could turn back from death.
Absolutely right.
Yeah. And so coming back to those 7 stars is that now they don't excite me, at all, because I think the journey has been very humbling journey, because we are still connected with the roots. Now we know the value of getting sabji, dal, and roti. If you get during our childhood, that was a luxury, because many a time the mother will put oil and salt on the roti and roll it and give it to you. That's all your dinner used to be. And after that, I think God has been very, very kind to give me opportunities, give me people, assignments, money, facilities. But to be very honest with you, Arun, I think what gives me satisfaction is about karma, making a difference. That's what my journey is.
Absolutely. Rajiv, this is very, very deep conversation. I think what you just said has got huge resonance with me, because I always get a feeling that the universe chooses some people. It's not for everybody to do the kind of things which many people do, some people do. The universe chooses some people. See, Siddharth Gautam was in Kapil Vastu. He saw the same thing which people see every day. Somebody who has got disease, somebody who is ailing, somebody who is old age, somebody who has died. I mean, something which we all see. But what happened that the universe chose this person to transform the lives of crores of people. And still there are, if you go to, I think, if you go to any resort, any spa, any corporate get-together kind of center, you will find a picture, a statue of Lord Buddha. So just imagine the kind of energy which is still spreading for all the best of reasons. Rajiv, I recall when I had joined a corporate, after our paths kind of got separated, of course, karma keeps on bringing us together, keeps bringing us together. And this interaction is one such example. I'm going to talk more about Rajiv. How all these books which people are seeing, and so many people who keep on sending messages that, sir, in Mizoram, I read a copy and then I'm feeling better. Thank you so much and all that. Rajiv has got a huge role to play. I'm going to come to that point. But at the moment, yes, Rajiv, so I saw that I joined a company, and many people used to have kind of experiences which many people have in multiple companies. I think it's not about corporate, it's about any setup, it's about any part of society. It's all happening in families, in institutions, in academic centers, in corporates, in everywhere. But it was a very subtle thing which made me look at things differently. And I still wonder as what made all these people who used to work in the same company accept it in different society. You see a lot of road rage cases and things happen where one car brushes against the other car, and this guy comes out of the car, takes out a rod from the car and starts kind of bullying. On the same road, hundreds of people are driving in that 1 minute. The world is bad, challenging, not because of 1 or 2% of bad people. It's because of 95% people who choose to stay indifferent. And that's the biggest problem which we have got in this society. I'm saying this with humility. But great thing is that I'm not saying anything just on a lighter note, but on a very serious note. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. When things go to extreme, some people rise up. And I know Rajiv is one of those people. I'm saying with humility, I'm saying, let me come to the point. Let me change the background, Rajiv. I wanted to share one point with all the people. We'll come to that childhood experience once again. So, yeah, so I was there in Jaipur last week, and then many people came and a lot of very lively interaction as we had for 12 hours. I spoke without any slide, and it's all about looking at people, talking to them, engaging with them. And people got, I mean, so many people are still connected. Earlier, my Instagram likes used to be 5, 6. Now there are 60, 70. I think people have got connected. I'm just giving one example. And I see one thing that I wrote all these books. I got all these, I'll say, awakenings or experiences when I left my own comfort zone in a small place and came to Pune, which got me exposed to a lot of people, a lot of companies, a lot of cultures, and a lot a lot of variety. For example, in the society that I'm living in, Raju, I have got people who are from Dell, Wipro, Microsoft, different companies, absolutely different companies. And if there is one guy who has been behind me coming to Pune, is Rajiv. Had he not done something which he did in those, I know his conviction. Somehow, Rajiv, I think I'm not bragging or something. You have got this ability to know people within seconds. I'm not saying that I am great or something, but you know people, what kind of people they are, and somehow you might have seen something. I came to Pune, all my books, all my videos, all the interactions, all these interactions, and all that I have been doing podcasting and all that. Today I've got another interaction also with somebody, and last week I had something with a publisher. So Rajiv, I think there is a big role which you have played. Otherwise, I would not have got exposed to all these things. And I think that is not surprising, because coming back to the point which you said, purpose. I did my vision board thing, and then actually that started making me do different things differently. So Rajiv, I know that you have been doing a lot of things for many people, and I know it personally. Rajiv, let's go back to a phase which is between your childhood days in Kolkata and when you joined Tata Steel and some of these companies. Let's go to Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. You had told me one story in the afternoon. So would you like to share some of these inspiring things? Because this video is going to be seen by hundreds and thousands and lots of people, I know, over next some time. So this will inspire some other thing.
I don't know which one you are talking about. But
afternoon sleep, and you have got to sleep for long, and some person said, some professor. When yeah. It's also over to you, Rajiv. You choose. There are a lot of other
things. You are right. So actually, I think many of the things, as I'm telling you, many people plan many things. I want to become this. I want to achieve this. I want to do this. In my case, Arun, there has been no such things. No such things. I think I have just navigated a path, and I believe that path is created by God. That's what, that's my philosophy of life. That I don't try to think what I want in future. I try to do my best with the present, So, because before ISC, I remember, again, you are a beneficiary of support system. Sometimes your brother support, sometimes your friend support, sometimes. But many of us, we think that I have achieved it. It's not I. It's the ecosystem, some part of ecosystem which is supporting. Like in my case, when I was writing my 12th exam, my father retired, and he had to wind up everything and go back to village. And today, you see, when we shift house, we have so much of luggage, this, that. I remember the smallest of the truck, maybe smallest of the truck. My father put everything, and they sat in the driver ke saath, and they went. And that's all was his earning for his entire life. I was just, there was no, there was no frustration about it that I could not achieve. So, it was my elder brother. And then, I did not have much places to study and all, separate room, etc. So I will go find out library outside where I can sit and study, etc. IIT Delhi library, I used to go, and the person used to be very kind to allow. Some days, some other person will be there, he will not allow. So then I will sit in the park outside under a tree, I will study and all, because I did not have sufficient place in the house. Small house, two kids already
Yeah.
there, etc. So even now, when I go to Delhi, and if I pass through IIT Delhi, I go to that same stair, I touch my head to pay my respect and gratitude, because if it was not for that,
Yeah.
and if it was not for that guard who used to allow me, I would not have kind of even studied
Yeah.
properly. So ISC again happened because of help. That
Yeah. Yeah.
is very funny. When people in my class graduation, people were getting forms and all that thing. I did not have any form. Then one day the professor, when we were about to pass out final year, he said, if anybody wants to do higher research, he can go to Indian Institute of Science. Then I asked to my
Yeah.
friend next to me, hey, what is he talking? Which institute?
You didn't even know the name of the institute, right?
Didn't even know the name. He said, Are
Inspiring.
what are
Yeah.
you talking here? You don't know this. I said, no, I don't know this. And he says, Are Rajiv, you are the topper of our class. You don't know this institute. I said, I don't know many things. Don't worry about it. Tell me, what is this institute? He
Yeah.
told, my brother studies there. At that time, we did not have all that, no internet, nothing.
Yes. Yeah.
Then he showed a brochure. I said, wow, Are here, the institute looks great. So he said, now forms are not available, but if you want, I have one extra form because I asked for it. And my brother who is studying there, he also gave me one form. So I've got two. And I still remember Aruna. I said, okay, give me one. He said, no, 50 rupees you have to pay because that's the cost of the form. I said, forget, I'm not buying it. He said, seriously? I said, yes, I'm not going to give you 50 rupees to get a
Yeah.
form.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah.
out. And then when I was narrating this to my brother over dinner, he said, what? You did not pay him 50 rupees. We finished dinner. I still remember he had LML Vespa scooter.
Yeah.
He took me on his scooter, went to his house, paid 100 rupees. I still remember. And he said, give him that form. And then, I came into ISA and I still remember the director's board, Professor Sienna Rao. I still remember, who got Padma Bhushan, this, that word. Big shot, big shot,
Okay. Okay.
So I still remember the dialogue he had with us. And he said, remember, you are just fortunate to be here. There are many, many people who are much, much
Hmm.
better than you, but they did not get the opportunity. You
Hmm.
got opportunity, and hence look at it only from that lens. Don't look at it from the
Hmm.
lens of arrogance, ego, etc. That I'm great. That's how I entered. And
Hmm.
then I still started taking it casually. Some classes, I I slept so much after lunch, I missed it. That afternoon class, I just missed it. And
Yeah.
even after getting up, I did not have much frustration. Oh, I missed the class. Oh, I should have done nothing. I mean, I said, okay, miss,
Yeah.
ho gaya, ho gaya. I mean, no problem. Now it's a coffee time in the canteen. Let's have coffee. Next day, the professor caught me. He said, you did not attend the class yesterday. What happened? I said, sir, I slept. He said, slept? I said, yes. I just slept after lunch and I could not get up.
Yeah.
Then he told me, Rajiv, you'll get enough time to sleep in your graveyard. Whenever that happens, why are you wasting your life sleeping? So that
Hmm.
was
Hmm.
the story from that teacher. But again, I'm saying, Arun, I've been again with, like you said, humbling experience that because of Rajiv, I came to Pune. Nothing like that. Again, I think it is the cosmic energy which has already decided, many things, and then it just gets it executed through messengers. We are just messengers. Many a time we elevate ourselves beyond that. I think we are just messengers, and just we need to do self improvement on daily basis. And if you do that, we are there.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think once again I see another book in what you said in last few. Few minutes. Let me come to 2 or 3 points which you shared, which are very insightful. I think you already explained it. So, for the sake of audience, Rajiv spoke about one experience where he used to go to the library of IIT Delhi without having the library card. He was not studying there. He was not entitled, but still he used to find a where there is will, there is an expressway. I always tell people where there is will, there is way. Where there is no way, there is an expressway. I always tell people, Rajiv, that when the student is ready, the teachers are everywhere.
Yeah.
The challenge here is that the students are not ready. Rajiv,
Yeah.
believe me, there is a WhatsApp group in which we have got 100 plus people from different parts of the country who knew about me through Facebook ads. And they're still asking me, sir, MMRG, kya hai, sir? Ye kya hai MMRG, sir? Bataiye, sir. And the charge which they are going to pay is almost nothing. Nothing, Rajiv. And there are people who just jumped into the main program. It's like, I conduct 90-minute session where I talk about it, and then those people who find a connection, I say find a connection, or the people who have been chosen by the universe, they join immediately. And there are others who are still asking all questions. Can I get one recording? Can I get two recording? Recording says dunia badalne wale hai nahi. You must have seen, Rajiv, there are so many people who attend so many webinars and then they get a recording. How many people have gone through one recording? I recall, Rajiv, in corporate days, many people used to go for 2 days program, and then while coming back, they used to get a nice recyclable bag in which there used to be leaflets and pamphlets and this and that and picture and gifts, and the only thing which people used to take out from the bag is the gift, some memento, which they used to keep. मतलब हम सबको चाहिए, मेरे लिए क्या है, अरे बॉस दुनिया के लिए क्या दे रहे हो आप, दुनिया इतना देगा कि संभाल नहीं पाओगे. That's what my coach says. He told me when I was kind of, बहुत ही विनम्रता से बोलो, अर्जुन की तरह बैटलफील्ड में पूरा कंफ्यूज था. I needed a Krishna. That's actually, Rajiv, that is what gave me the purpose to get into this field. You asked, Arun, you are doing something which you love. Actually, I came to this field because of purpose, because I got a feeling that there is no Krishna around. और मैं अपने जो भी मैं तो निमित्त मात्र हूँ, जो गीता में कहा निमित्त. We all are medium. मैंने सोचा, let me get into a field where I can have a formal coaching system so that people get direction. And I think, I strongly believe that all these people, including the people who are there in the background, they all are Arjunas. They all are Arjunas. They just need somebody like Rajiv or some of these people who can show them the direction. Rajiv, I think what you said has got everything about life. Actions, apna kaam karte chalo. I always tell people that if we just get the essence of one line, students have to get ready. Libraries will open up. Students have to get ready. For example, कर्मण्य का रास्ते, अपना कर्म करो ना, हर कोई तो फल में लगा हुआ है. वो मेरा मेमेंटो कुछ फल मिल गया, चलो, अरे कर्म कर मेरे भाई, जो सीखा 2 दिन में उसका थोड़ा लिखो, उसके बारे में सोचो, कुछ एक्शन को, पूरी दुनिया बदल जाएगी. If Rajiv, people just get this one line that my job is to keep on watering the seed of purpose or whatever action, whatever goal I want to do. It's all about taking actions. Seed फल निकलेंगे, आज नहीं तो कल निकलेंगे. हो सकता कभी कम निकलेंगे, हो सकता कभी 100 गुना ज्यादा निकलेंगे. It's something which is in the hands of God and karma and cosmic energy. It's not within your hand. तो मैंने देखा कि लोग अपना काम छोड़कर भगवान के काम में लगे हुए हैं.
Arun, on this topic, sorry, I just want to
please go on, Rajiv.
It's a very important point that you said, and it's about knowing, doing gap. I call it knowing, doing gap. People know it, but they don't do it. They know it. They know getting up is early is good. They know doing fitness is good, but they don't do it.
Yeah.
And what I tell them, that don't procrastinate. Don't think, okay, one day I will do New Year resolutions. Nothing you have to do. I like yesterday, I was having a dialogue with a team, and I just said, do you spend 1 hour reading every day? Whatever you want to read about physics, psychology, economics, spiritual, whatever you want to read about sales skills, negotiation skills, whatever. And I'm sure that answer is no. Okay. I said, the power of compounding. You just spend 10 minutes reading. I was saying knowing, doing gap. To bridge that gap, just spend 10 minutes invested in reading whatever you like it. Whatever you love reading it. 10 minutes. But that time, switch off everything. Don't get into mobile, this, that. And I said, do you know the power of compounding? 10 minutes every day, done only for 300 days. Forget about 300. You will be doing 3,000 minutes. And if you do it for 10 years, you'll do 30,000 minutes. Do you know what the power it will bring? Just in your reading.
Absolutely.
And developing your cognitive ability, because it is extremely important that you have fitness not only at a physical level. That's important, very important. But it is also important to have physical at a cognitive level. And how will you have fitness at a cognitive level if you don't read and don't synthesize and don't develop your thinking ability? Because you have to develop. These are all acquired skills. These are not born skills. You have to develop the thinking ability. So what you said is right. People don't immerse themselves. I just expand the ideas. I call, the ideas. I stands for immersion. You should immerse yourself in whatever you have got it, and be thankful you got something. Immerse yourself. Develop yourself. And development, what you rightly said, you are talking to those youngsters. Development happens at 3 dimensions. The first dimension is the technical dimension. Means you are in sales, HR, finance, whichever is the role you are in. Develop your skills. Commensurate with the role you are playing. The second dimension of development is the cognitive development. And the third dimension where you develop your realization, the spiritual realization,
Wow.
So these are the three dimensions of development. Empathy. If somebody is not able to deliver something, instead of criticizing all of that, can you make a positive difference to that person,
Absolutely.
which you are doing, Arun? I'm very, very happy, very pleased to see that. That's about empathy. And A stands for action. Act.
Wow.
Act. Don't just lecture. Act, like which you're doing. You are acting when you are meeting people, interacting with them. You're acting. You're not just making some blog and just sharing. You're acting, right? And S of ideas stand for, please suspend judgment about people. Don't judge. You don't know their journey. You don't know their background much. And at a very surface, at a gross level, by just picking something he or she is doing, you are judging. We don't know ourselves after so many years, and you think you know somebody else, and you have the ability to judge. So that's what I call ideas. If somebody is able to, again, I have been fortunate to learn it from somebody. Somebody shared it with me, and he is a big boss of Saint-Gobain India and Asia Pacific. His name is Santanam. He has dedicated his life to 46 years, one company. Can you believe it?
Wow.
46 years, one company, and people say you should. He's already 66, and he has been given additional responsibility of Asia Pacific, and so he shared with me this, which I'm sharing with you, which is connected to what you said rightly, that people, instead of focusing in the current, they are always busy about the fruits of the future. But power of compounding will give you the fruits.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. So Rajiv, while talking to you, I get a sense that, of course, it's also because of the fact that we are speaking after a long time. I'm talking to a different Rajiv. Rajiv, any advice which you would like to give to younger Rajiv? Rajiv,
Yes.
when he was 25 years of age. It's
Yeah,
something
yeah.
which is very
That's a
interesting.
very good question. That's a very good question, Arun. If I look back to that 20 years back, Rajiv, or 10 years, even 10 years back, Rajiv, I wish I was 20 years younger. I could have recalibrated all
You
those
look very
things.
young, Rajiv.
I would
You are
have
the person who
corrected. I
inspires
could
us to
have
stay
corrected.
younger.
I would have corrected all of that. What was lacking was a very gross level understanding of the self. I had, about self-realization, people talk a lot, but it is at different levels. First, it is at a very gross level. You think you know yourself, but actually we don't know.
You do not know.
And
Even I
then it
didn't know.
goes to the subtle level. You start developing yourself in subtle ways, few things here, there. And then it goes to the deeper level, the deepest level of realization, where you start connecting yourself with the soul.
Absolutely.
With the soul. And then you say, you actually start enjoying your life. So my first advice is, it is extremely important to be healthy, wealthy, and happy, right? But actually, it is in reverse order. You have to first be healthy. If you are not healthy, how can you be healthy, happy? You will just go to
Absolutely.
doctors. You will talk about pains, sorrow.
Yes, absolutely.
So healthy, that will itself give you a lot of happiness. You'll feel good about yourself. Just remember, Arun, if your body is lighter, if you feel actually good. Again, I'm telling based on my personal experience, I have been able to make myself much lighter than what I was through various actions. Be it food, be it fitness, be it what time you sleep, what are your priorities in life. I don't believe in social networking. I don't go to parties. I don't meet anyone. I don't do all of that. I don't have time to, just for the sake of social networking, go and attend 10 parties. I don't do that. So I reset my priorities.
Yeah.
So this is my first advice, Arun, that we all should focus first on our health. And you don't have to invest money. You have to just spend some time from 24 hours, because God has given 24 hours to everyone.
Yeah.
Here he has not been partial. He has been very democratic. 24 hours available to everyone.
Yeah.
Now the question comes, who is doing what? What slices you are cutting from 24 hours of pie that you have got?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
the first slice that we need to focus, and we should always let that be bigger or the biggest slides is on your health. The second is about happiness, because okay, you are fit. It's also about what kind of thoughts you generate, because that makes you happy or sad. Now, to generate that thoughts, again, it is extremely important that you enhance your realization, and you'll be able to enhance your realization provided you are reading a lot. Without reading, let's say, Arun, you have put all your thoughts in your books, but if somebody is not reading, so how will you acquire some of those things that Arun is sharing? And these are your thoughts. You are not borrowing somebody and you are sharing. You are synthesizing thoughts from many people, your experience, your views, and nicely synthesizing in book. So if people don't read, they will be devoid of this knowledge. So this part is extremely important of happiness, wherein you are developing your specific knowledge. Why I say specific knowledge? Because if you are in field of HR, sales, etc., you have to be the best in the field that you are in the world.
Absolutely.
That's called specific knowledge, that nobody can do that job better than you in the world. That's how your goal should be. That means that this is the extremely important dimension to be happy. That what am I doing on daily basis to develop myself? Reading about variety of books. For example, I never read Gita earlier. I never read Upanishads earlier. I never read many of the books about, for example, in Bihar, you are from Bihar, Takshila, Nalanda, you see where all scholars used to come. There is a Bihar school of yoga. You will be mesmerized. The authenticity, if you see the books, I've got some books from the authenticity of what our practices used to be of ancestors, how without all the paraphernalia of today, increment, bonus, sales incentive, without all this paraphernalia, they used to be so happy because they were acquiring wisdom.
Absolutely.
You acquire wisdom through voracious reading, keeping your company with people who give you positive thoughts rather than people who are negative, etc. So extremely important to be happy is what company you keep of the books, what company you keep of the people, and what are you doing to realize yourself. And then I say wealthy. I don't discount that, oh, so and so bad. No, it's not bad. It's not bad, because if you're not wealthy, how will you contribute and impact the other people in the society? If you're wealthy, you can, if somebody calls you from a village, you will be able to respond to him or her with the support. However, because when you're wealthy, it doesn't mean it is all for yourself. It is, I'm not talking about money alone. Money is about a medium of exchange. I'm not talking about money, but I'm talking about wealth. And that comes through the power of compounding. I always tell people, advice, if you ask me, whether it is your health, whether it is your happiness, whether it is your wealth, all these three pillars are extremely important, and one should work on this. And through the power of compounding of your 10 minutes every day in each of these, just 10 minutes, I'm not even saying 1 hour, you will be able to see an aha moment of your life. And when you are 80, after 80, not much one can do, still one does after 90, 100, whatever it is. But obviously you can't do what you were doing in 20s. At least one will not have a regret.
Absolutely.
And here I want to, the biggest advice, is standing in front of me, Arun Singh, because you have not stayed in your comfort zone. You have come out of your comfort zone. Many people would have said, oh, what this guy is doing, etc. That conventional thinking. But you see, you came out and you are pursuing something very different. Very different. And I always saw it, even when you were there earlier, we were associated around. I could see that you are not a guy who becomes happy only with the materialistic world, conventional world, like even in HR, just KPI, or just go chasing about that KPI, be granular or SOP. No, I mean, it is about how you are able to bring about transformations. So my advice is very simple, Arun. We should learn, invest, act to be healthy, happy, and wealthy.
Very interesting, Rajiv. I think it's very, very insightful. I think what Rajiv has said is, I'm just thinking that this is one conversation which is going to require part 2, part 3. So audience, let me tell you that we started our conversation at 8 o'clock on Sunday morning. That itself shows that here is a person with me who cares for the society, for the world. He's working for making the world better. Otherwise, on a Sunday, which is probably the day which people would like to spend with their family, you are sharing with us. Thank you so much, Rajiv. So I think we're going to have part 2, part 3 and all that, because I'm getting so many points here which we can discuss. There are so many points. For example, you gave the example of you getting support from your brother and somebody saving, helping you. I always tell people that many people get a feeling that, maine tod de, maine phod de. See, there are so many people who are supporting you. They're not visible. They're not visible. That's very interesting, because I know wife, the contribution support from wife, my goodness, which can't imagine. And you said that health, and I think I have seen that ladies at home, they are the people who care for the health of people, have husbands, good food, good thoughts, good support, taking care of kids and all that. There are so many examples. I think you gave the example of your brother. I think he himself has been a very inspiring person. We also spoke about the fact that reading, for example, I always tell people I'm just displayed it not for the sake of anything else. I just wanted to give a message that I often give a demo to people that, okay, gentlemen, let me take one book, for example. So, gentlemen, you tell me one page number. I ask people, okay, at random, tell me a page number. If I take this book, take page number, any page number. Okay, this could be my book, this could be any book in the world. Page number, okay, page number 120. Okay, tell me the line number. From one line, Rajiv, we have a session for 1 hour, and he's convinced that this one line can change his life. One line. But Rajiv, क्यों ऐसी दुनिया है कि आपने इतने अच्छे एडवाइस दिए 3 पॉइंट, right? Health, happiness, and wealth. और जो लोग देखेंगे इस वीडियो को, I'm telling you, I think universe chooses that's one thing, but we can't use it as a kind of as an excuse. Why does it happen? I've seen people that many people may still listen to what you said, but they do not exactly get the meaning, Rajiv, and that is what brought me to all these books. First book, what to talk about world. My father-in-law, I've said this in some of the videos, he has been waking up at 4 o'clock over the last 45 years, and I needed somebody, some coach to make me start, start waking up in the morning, which happened in 2019. I got married in 2003. So it's not to blame the world. Actually, people wait for their Peter Marisburg moment to come. That's what I have seen. And that's the reason I always tell people that happy hota hai, achhi baat hai, man ka ho to celebrate, give a clap, go for a dinner, but jab man ka nahi acha hota hai, wahin par dimag brahmastra ka istemal karna shuru karte. That's when life changes. So I think I would request people not to wait for that experience to come, which I had to go through. Please, 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 I think listen to what Rajiv has said, and that one thing can change life. Rajiv, I think you spoke about Indian Institute of Science, Bengaluru. I know there must be things happening there related to ISRO and some of these things. Would you like to share something? मुझे तो लग रहा है इसको पूरा दिन हम लोग बात करते जाएंगे, इतने पॉइंट निकलने वाले बहुत, ये पूरा गीता बन जाएगा जिंदगी के ट्रांसफॉर्म करेगा. I'm just saying with humility, Rajiv. Something about
Indian Institute of Science. I mean, again, I can say from the 1.4 billion population, I was so lucky to be part of those few people who went there. And when there, I can call it luck, but I will say it is a cosmic energy. And it's all my hard work during my graduation days. I did work hard, like I told you. Did not have the means, but I found the means, which the society gives you if you want to find, So ISC, I saw Arun, and I still am awestruck by 2-3 things I want to share. First, it is about Sri J.N. Tata. I was just thinking that what is it? He is having the same 24 hours. He is eating the similar kind of foods we are having. What is it that would have been the purpose of this great person that he sacrificed his personal wealth? And he had this kind of a grand vision for India. That India for its future will need engineers and scientists, and where from they will come. Let me contribute something to my society. Again, it is driven by a higher level purpose, that what you'd want to do for society rather than for self, because he was already so aged, and he died after 5-6 years of that. Absolutely. You just imagine at that age when people want to just say, hey Bhagwan, sab theek rakho mera sab theek karo. He was having a grand vision for India, and he went and he interacted with Swami Vivekanand. He brought the best of the best scientists from US to do survey that where should this institute be? This is my vision. And then he located Bangalore. And then you see, once you have this kind of a vision, your next set of things start falling.
Yeah.
For example, if you see the professors there around, again, I'm telling you, we were struggling to understand their English because these guys are IIT 10 out of 10, then they went to Stanford, MIT, Penn State, they did their PhD, they talk, and they came back to serve their country as professors in ISC. They'll be riding bicycle, walking, all of that. So I saw first thing about Sri J.N. Tata. Second thing I saw, great professors driven by their purpose.
Yeah.
They would have got 100 times more money, 100 times more materialistic world than walking with a chappal in ISC and a cycle. And the best somebody could afford was second-hand Maruti 800. And that itself, we used to put that with delight. So that was a very humbling experience that they are so great, yet so simple.
Yeah.
And again, related to happiness, that they are doing something which they enjoy doing.
Absolutely.
They did not bring how much money, kitna increment, oh, mera variable kam ho gaya. They know that all that will come and all that is not so important beyond a limit, beyond the point. That is not so important. That's my second. My third I saw is, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. That time he was the ISRO chief.
Okay.
And Supercomputer Education Research Center. I'm telling you this, 1992. Param high-speed computers. First time in India, they were there only in ISC, SCRC Center, Supercomputer Education Research Center. And we as students, we were learning C, Fortran, all of that, we can go only up to third floor. Fourth floor was reserved for ISRO. That was managed by defense military. Nobody can go there.
Yeah.
So Professor APJ Abdul Kalam came, etc. And then our director, Professor C.N.R. Rao, requested that, why don't you address these young people? And they will be very, very. So he said yes. And he said, okay, J.N. Tata Auditorium. Arun, if the capacity would have been for 500 people, I can tell you there were 1,500 people. People were sitting in stairs, one after another, standing. Oh, itna aadha aise karke khada hai. One of the most mesmerizing speeches I have heard of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, and how those 2 hours passed. 2 hours or 3 hours, I don't even remember how, or half day. I still don't know. People say, Are, I'm tired. We still don't know that we did not get tired. That was his power. And who introduced him? None other than Sri Narayan Murthy. He was called. So again, I'm telling you 92, 93 time, almost 20 years back.
92, 93 you're talking about.
Yeah, 30 years back I'm talking.
This must be the initial journey of Narayan Murthy as well.
My first year in ISC, and Narayan Murthy, he was at the peak. He was at the peak kind of. So, then when he was getting up to introduce APJ Abdul Kalam said something in his ears. So Narayan Murthy said, hey students, do you want to know what Sir Kalam told me in my ears? We said, yes, we want to know. And he said, Murthy, I don't have much. Talk very little about me. Don't talk much. Can you believe it? And then he got up and he talked around. And only action that somebody was taking from audience, कि वो glass of water उनके पास जाके रख रहा था, फिर थोड़ा और आगे बढ़ा दे रहा था कि sir, without stop, non-stop, he spoke. And I said, oh my God, look at this gentleman. And now, even in pandemic, 1 year back, I took my family. We went to Rameshwaram. We went to his house where he grew up, which is now a museum. And if you see our own 3-story building in a very small, like lanes, you told me, Calcutta, it is in lanes of that Rameshwaram. And I showed to my son what all are there, all his rewards, recognitions from India, outside India, his achievements are all nicely preserved there. And I said, look, one man in one life has achieved so many things. That means it is possible. It is possible. So this is my experience, what I saw 30 years ago about APJ Abdul Kalam. And I went to his house. I paid my gratitude that, my God, India has been so proud. Another person where I took my family because we read about him was the first Field Marshal of India, Sam Manekshaw, who won the Indo-Bangladesh war for us. If it was not him, we would not have won the war. It was again Pakistan occupied Kashmir or something like that must have been there. And you said, no, you confidence. I want to share with you and whosoever is listening to your this platform. When you read about these people, you start developing confidence as well. So Indira Gandhi was the prime minister and she called a cabinet meeting and he called him, Chief, why don't you come? And, he said, I'm having a tea in my, no, she said, where are you? And he said, I'm in the army office in Delhi and I'm having my tea. And he said, are you busy? He said, army, that time he was army chief. So he said, army chief is always busy, prime minister, but not so busy that it cannot attend to prime minister's call. So tell me what you want from me. She said, I want you to come immediately. He said, I can't come immediately. I have to first finish my tea. She said, I'll give you the tea in my office. And he said, it's all there in his books. Huh? I'm not telling some, it's all there in the original book of Sam Manekshaw. And look at the courage. He said, Prime Minister, the tea in your office is not that good quality. The army tea is authentic. And I want to went there. Look at the courage.
Awesome.
So
I know how
people,
courage, how important the role
and
is.
he went there and Indira Gandhi was furious. The cabinet meeting. She said, from the chief minister of Assam, from the chief minister of Bihar, from the chief minister of Bengal, everybody is saying there is so much infiltration happening of people from East Bangladesh, East Pakistan, that time it was. What's going wrong? He was silent. People were telling something, all cabinet ministers. And then Sam Manekshaw was not saying anything. Then she said, Chief, I want you to do something about it. You are not talking anything. He said, Prime Minister, you are talking to the Chief of Army and you are telling me to do something. Do you know what it means? It means war. You want me to do war? She said, yes, I don't care. Then he told her, look at the confidence and the courage that you said about the conviction. And I'll tell you where from it was coming. He told on her face that, Prime Minister, I want to do the war to win it, not to lose like what your father lost in Kashmir. He straight on her face, he told it, I don't want that kind of a war. I want a war, I want to win it. And hence this is not the right time because it is rainy season. My army will get stuck. I will not be able to put the food to them, supply to them, all of that, but I will do it. I'll do the war because you are prime minister and you are instructing the chief of army to do it. I'll do it, but not now. I'll do it. She said, no, this is not possible. I want action now. Cabinet meeting is dissolved. Everybody walk out. And then he was also standing. He was the last guy. He told Prime Minister, should I take out the piece of paper? He will ask. No, she said, you sit down. You cannot go. Then he said, Prime Minister, should I take out a piece of paper and write, I hereby resign due to my personal reasons or health reasons because you want to sack me? She said, no, Sam, I really want to start the war now. And then he convinced her, and she got convinced. And then he fought the war, he won it. Now, that conviction is not one day's job. It's the power of compounding. He has gone in his journey of life with so many challenges, so many difficulties. And that has, through that experience, says he has acquired that conviction, courage, and all to talk like this. That's what I want to say. And Arun, his house is in Kannur. So we had read this book and I told my son one day we should go to the gate of his house. He built a house in, Kannur on the hills. And after retirement, he went there, Wellington, where there's army center, and Kannur is near that. He built a house there. And that land he had purchased 30 years ago. And that's all he had, And then he built a house and very nice. YouTube may you will see his things. So this time again we went there. We stood at his gate and we paid respect. And whom I met across, the first person who went to space, Mr. Rakesh Sharma.
Yeah.
Rakesh Sharma, when I was in standard 8, 9, that time radio may be heard that Indira Gandhi asked कि ऊपर से हमारा देश कैसे लगता है, and he said सारे जहां से अच्छा. And that gentleman ka house was next to Sam Manekshaw's house, and his wife was coming out, and I introduced, and then I came to know, oh, this is his house. He said, I'm Mrs. Rakesh Sharma. So you see, Arun, the power of these personalities like Sam Manekshaw. The last days of his journey, he was in the bed in hospital. And APJ Abdul Kalam went to Coimbatore for somewhat, Wellington.
Absolutely.
When he was president. And then he was taken there because he said, I want to meet our first field marshal. He's in hospital. And he was old. He was about to die kind of thing. So maybe 1 month or 2 months before that. So he went there, APJ Abdul Kalam, in the room, hospital. And he said, how are you? And Sam Manekshaw said, I'm absolutely ashamed. And he said, what happened? He says, the first Field Marshal of India, ex-Chief of Army of India, is not in a position to get up and salute the President of our country. What else can be more shame for me than this? So then you just see, what drives them, huh? Even when they are about to die, the respect he wanted to pay to the president, and then they chatted, and then in the end, our Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam said, Sam, can I do something for you? He said, now anytime my vehicle will come, I have to go to space. What will you do? So he said, yes, you can do one thing for me. He said, what is it? He said, I have never got in the last 25 years the pension of the Field Marshal. He said, wow, is it? He said, yes. And Arun, look at the leadership of APJ Abdul Kalam, priority, He went back to Delhi. Next day, a person in a flight from Delhi flew to Wellington Hospital with a check of 1.2 crores, which was his accumulated pension. And he handed it over. He called the commandant of Wellington Army Hospital, and Sam Manekshaw gave this check to that commandant and said, put this into the Army Welfare Fund. He has 2 daughters, mind you. He could have given it to them. It is his money. But he said, he called the chief and he said, put it into the army. So when you listen to such stories, when you see all these things, your realization becomes deeper. And then you realize that what you are chasing only like money, some very mundane things, promotion, increment, other salary sales. Then you start realizing that life is, as you rightly said, Arun, I'm very, very pleased. 10x, what you said. The power of compounding makes it 1000x.
1000x, absolutely right.
So that's all I want to share. Because of IST, Arun, I could see these people. I can go back. I paid my gratitude. So I'm very, very fortunate, I must tell you, to have got such a opportunity.
Yeah, Sir Rajiv, I think what you just said has made me think. I've been brooding over many points which you have shared. I think points are a few, but they are very, very deep. So the point of courage, which Sam Manekshaw is example, I think I've seen many people in corporates, in various other institutions, they will just say something just to, while gauging the mood of the boss. Actually they're not helping him at all. They are ensuring that the entire thing goes down after some time. It's not going to happen immediately, but it's going to happen. So saying the truth, because ultimately the goal in front of Sam Manekshaw was to make the country win. He was not talking about himself, he was talking about the company, not coming to corporate company. I think there's a message for many employees there. Rajiv, you spoke about some very inspiring personalities, Inna Narayan Murthy, Mr. APJ Abdul Kalam, Mr. Sam Manekshaw, Rakesh Sharma. I just changed the background. This is my vision board. I'm not making any comparison, Rajiv. The day I did it in 2019, my entire life changed. You said that some people might be still wondering, Arun, kya kar raha hai now? Purpose. Rajiv, I'm living every word which I wrote in 2011. And it's not about me because I've just spoken about some very, very inspiring personalities. So I won't talk about it. I'll just say one thing. This is one experience which I went through, which made me realize the significance of conducting a free vision board session, which I'm going to do every month now. For anybody from the country, people can join. It takes 4 hours time. I'll request people to just do their vision board exercise, because once you do that, your life changes. Otherwise, people will not even appreciate as how could a person who has got 2 daughters will ask for this money after 25 years when somebody comes to him, he would not even have bothered about this money. And then when he gets the money, he gives it to somebody. If you want to appreciate what exactly these people have been thinking through, I think people have to do their vision board exercise. I think, Rajiv, you said another thing, that you were allowed to only climb up to 3rd floor of, I think we are not even on the 2nd floor of this conversation. So I think we will have to have part 2, part 3, part 4. Is already 9:17 in the morning on Sunday, Rajiv. I'm so happy. We are yet to come to the leadership lessons, the kind of qualities which Rajiv looks for while hiring people, because he is the managing director, and I know that he has been hiring some very senior people as well, and many people in number. We are here to talk about the book, the title of the book, which could be the title in case there is a book written on the experiences of Rajiv. And we are here to talk about anything which actually we had planned. So we'll come to part 2, part 3, and then we'll climb to the 2nd floor and 3rd floor and 4th floor, Rajiv. Thank you so much, Rajiv. We'll take a pause here. And I don't know how to say. I think it's going to, I didn't know. I think I knew that it's going to be very insightful. Probably you might not be aware of the insight which we are going to get. I think I'm talking to the audience only now. But audience, now you have seen the stories which Rajiv has shared. These are the stories which can transform somebody's life. Just look at the word which he has used while talking about some of these people. Rajiv, any thoughts from you before we take a pause today, and then we'll go to 2nd floor or 3rd floor in coming sessions?
I think the first thing I want to say a big thank you, Arun, because thank you for, again, it's a question of opportunity. So you gave me an opportunity to share.
No, thank you.
And when I hope from whatever humbling experience we had, whatever opportunities we got, one thing I want to tell, there is no shortcut to hard work. One cannot say, and you see, Arun, in your case, how much your hard work, you are saying 10x the potential. You are maybe, working so many x more than what used to work earlier. So, I think it is a wonderful experience today, Arun, to talk to you. And you see, we did not even realize it is 9:20.
9:20,
because you picked up the nice threads. You asked such good questions around those nice themes, because those are the threads which you have. So I can see the evolution in you, Arun. I can clearly see the journey of transformation that you have brought for yourself. And I'm sure that through all your work that you are doing, whether it is book or whether it is interactions, you're doing so much, so great to see. And it is always a pleasure to talk to Arun, to meet him on the machan in his house. Wonderful time.
Most welcome, Rajiv. Now the machan is going to have a lot of interaction, which is going to be very juicy, very insightful.
I have always enjoyed, Arun, my interaction. So I have always considered you as one of those friends, which is good to talk to and cheer up and talk, from the heart and feel happy. Again, it goes back to that happiness that you need friends, with whom you talk and you feel happy. And I'm extremely fortunate that, again, thanks to Cosmic Energy, a person like you is my friend. And it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you so much, Rajiv. I think the fortune is mine. And one comment from me, I came to Pune. I already spoke about the contribution which Rajiv made. He is the person who drove me. I think he had seen something. I don't know what exactly he had seen, because I know we all are evolving, including me. If there is one person who has been evolving, I think at a very fast pace, it's me, because I know there is a need, and I have gone through some of these experiences. I'm saying this with humility. So Rajiv, you got me to Pune. I think, let me put it this way. And then I got into a lot of experiences, a lot of companies, and then Kapil Vastu moment happened, then Sarnath moment happened when I went and delivered my first, I don't know, kind of with shaking legs. And now when I went there, I think 12 hours, there was no slide required. It was like different. And Rajiv, courage. When I have seen that when somebody takes one step with courage, with the clear intention, while keeping some vision in mind, खुल जा सिमसिम की तरह दरवाजे खुलने शुरू हो जाते राजीव. I wrote 6 books and today Rajiv I'm writing 12 books for some of the highest end clients, people who are CEOs, who are CHROs. These are very highly paid assignments, where I'm working with them, where I'm helping them, where I'm kind of inspiring some of these people. I'm saying this with humility. And there are 10, 12 more books which people want me to work. And this is just one aspect of, as one aspect out of many verticals on which I've been working, Rajiv. This is how the world changes. And all these books which are going to inspire people have got a seed, and that seed lies in Rajiv, having seen something and having driven something out of that small comfort zone into the city of Pune. Thank you so much, Rajiv. God bless you. We are going to speak once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arun. Take care.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
See you.
Thank you. Thank you.